I don't want fucking egg whites. I want as many nutrients, not that bullshit. And I don't really track anything.
I'm learning so much.
You learn a lot of this one.
Yes.
Whatever's in this container of meat, I don't give a fuck. I mean the whole thing.
Someone looks at your body in the gym. Dude, you kind of look like shit. You're like, well, it's interesting. My philosophy is I don't give a fuck. Well, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, who'd you learn that from? The Tren Twins. Well, how come they look great? It's not the Tren. Anyway, moving on. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for RP Strength. I've been a long-time professor of exercise and sports science. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, as they say in Brazil. Brazilians, all love and respect, you're great. And what is it? Something to do with bodybuilding. That's right. And apparently, there are other fitness influencers and major fitness YouTubers than myself. I thought I was the only person. I thought that I invented YouTube, but my schizophrenia aside, let's examine some big name YouTubers' diets and see if we can't talk a little shit. Maybe even learn a teeny bit on the way. 3, 2, 1. YouTube fitness diet influencers. Let's get to it.
So breakfast is going to be the remainder of this gallon of whole milk. And then I've got one of the 6-pack varieties of Krispy Kreme. So a normal one, fucking jelly filled. You get the idea.
I think he mentioned one donut, and he's like, well, there's other ones too, donut stuff.
I'll add up all the macros. I'll keep a count, either up here or up here somewhere.
Got it. 29 grams of protein, 107 grams of fat, 243 grams of carbohydrate, 2,051 total calories. So what's good about this? What's bad about this? What's bad about this is that 29 grams of protein is an insufficient amount per meal to maximize anabolism in somebody's that's SAM size and drug status. So being that he's on a little bit of gear, and being that he's young and healthy and growing, something to the tune of 50 grams of protein per meal would be possible to maximize anabolic response. Also, with 107 grams of fat in the equation, 243 grams of carbs, the slowness of the release of the digestion products into the bloodstream means that per unit of time for the minutes and hours after he eats this meal, the amount of protein that leaches in, amino acids that leach in, eventually get to the muscles, is actually very, very small. So for a meal with this many calories, 2,000 calories, and this much fat and carbohydrate, I would actually probably double the protein in order to get it to be enough protein so that the over time leaching into the amino acids of the blood is sufficient, which means 100 grams of protein would be good. 29 grams isn't good enough.
When it comes to my dieting, not style, but maybe theory, if you could call it that, calories is the number one factor.
100%. So true. It's two things control 70 or 80% of diet outcomes, especially for body composition, gaining muscle and losing fat. Total calories and enough protein. The ratio of carbohydrates to fats means something. It matters, but much less. And then the digestion speed means something. It matters, but even less so. And the micronutrient content, generally, the amount of fiber, phytochemicals, vitamins, minerals, etc., how healthy the food is, matters for long-term health, but it matters for short-term losing fat or gaining muscle much, much, much less. It's important, especially long-term. But if you have a day where you're kind of out and about and everything's kind of, chaotic, grab you some Genius shots and get yourself enough protein, make sure to get enough calories from anything you can find, and you're all the way to 70 or 80% of knocking out your day. And you don't have to have the exact prepackaged broccoli, chicken, rice meals or whatever. Why am I putting my foot down on that? First of all, because Sam is completely correct, respect where it's due. And people will not be able to get their perfect meals in, and they'll just abandon ship. I'm traveling today. It. And they'll have a cookie and later 3 slices of pizza, and they'll pass out in their own vomit. And you're you could have just had enough protein and just whatever calories that came in and gotten 70 or 80% of the way there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And if you've been to school before, you know how much, like let's say you have 10 quizzes during a semester. A 0 on a quiz really drags your grade down. A 75% on a quiz, if all of them are A's other than that, man, like it barely affects anything. So, your result of a, 15-week fat loss diet or muscle gain diet is kind of like a semester-long grade. And if you're aiming for an A or A- on your diet results, you can deal with a bunch of days in there that are 0s where you didn't get enough calories in, or way too many, depending on the context, and you really undershot your protein. Those 0s affect your results a lot. And obviously all you can do is pick back up and do your best, but the shit has an effect. Whereas if you got enough protein and roughly hit somewhere within 500 calories of your goal, man, like that's basically a win. It's not a capital W win, lowercase w win, but they all add up. So it's a big deal to remember that Sam Sulek is totally correct. You get enough calories, you attend to your protein. Should you concern yourself about the other stuff? If you have the bandwidth, absolutely. With the RP Diet Coach app, we have meals all planned out for you. We have exact macros per meal and calories and protein all accounted for. So if you want that next level, RP Diet Coach app, link in the description, all that stuff. It's great. I use it every single day of my life. You want that level of precision, you got it. But if you're traveling with your RP Diet Coach app, for example, it has the flexibility to allow you to plug anything in that you want. And if you just want to shoot for calories and protein, it will let you do that 100%. So don't feel like you need to get your diet perfect, but at the same time, if you're at home and you're eating, 4 or 5 square meals per day, yeah, they should be healthy and the right macros and good timing, because that makes a difference. But if you can't do that, just remember calories and protein make most of the difference anyway.
Crumble cookies.
Scott, are these our friends, the Tren Twins?
Hey, yo.
Hey, fucking Tren
We haven't
Twins.
seen them on the channel in quite some time.
We
It's a
haven't.
welcome sight.
It is a welcome sight.
home, boys.
My guys, they're looking jacked. They're looking Italian tan. I love it. Let's hear some shit.
Look at their arm size.
Hey.
They're getting big.
Hey, I'm fucking huge.
Crumble cookies. Sushi. Processed foods. Seed oils. The 5 main things if you want to get jacked.
Woo! Especially seed oils, they get you going. I love it.
Seed oils, below that sugar, then maybe some Anavar. Breakfast, I'm just focused on nutrients.
What else would you be focused on in breakfast? Maybe taste.
I'm eating different fruits, beef and shit.
Ah, yes, the 2 important food groups for bodybuilder, beef and shit. I've eaten plenty of shit to get jacked, so I can relate.
I don't want fucking egg whites. I want as many nutrients, good shit for my body as possible. Ghee butter is a choice of lubricant, not that bullshit.
Whoa, they went awfully Caucasian with that, right? Isn't ghee butter something you buy after you have a retreat in Nepal and you discover your inner child?
Yeah, like every tub of ghee has a picture of a mountain on it and a bird flying. It's
Yes.
I've seen some of these.
Yes, you're liberated. $9.99 for 2 ounces of ghee. You're like, well, they're fucking Whole Foods. Dude, these guys got big arms, man. How much ghee do I need to eat to look like that?
By the way, ghee is just butter for those.
Yeah. So fancy white people term for butter that they rip you off on at the store.
Not that bullshit. And I don't really track anything.
I'm learning so much.
You learn a lot at this one.
Yes. Okay. Well, look, their arms speak for themselves.
Whatever's in this container of meat, I don't give a fuck. I'm eating the whole thing.
Someone looks at your body in the gym. They're like, dude, you kind of look like shit. You're like, well, it's interesting. My philosophy is I don't give a fuck. Well, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, who'd you learn that from? The Tren Twins. Well, how come they look great? It's not the Tren. Anyway, moving on.
Got the fruit, then you had antioxidants, then you got the avocado with the sourdough.
I love that he's like, nutrition, this shit, just put the fucking meats in. And a minute later, he's like, antioxidants, some shit we were supposed to learn about at school. I don't know, green shit. It looks great, man. Their yolks look so orange, which white people tell me is like a good thing or something. I'm not sure about that.
Sourdough bread, the eggs, the full amino complex.
I'm sorry, what? Yes, complex. He's not wrong. I'm just talking that shit.
And no utensils.
Scott, if aliens came to Earth and they told you, listen, we are going to give the Earth life-saving AI technology to make everyone bloom and prosper. Or if you don't do what we ask, we're going to just nuke the Earth right now. And your job, Scott the video guy, is to make Mike miserable. I have a cheat sheet for you. Shotgun sound transition emojis. RP Hypertrophy app comes with dozens of pre-made programs from 2 days of training per week all the way up to 6 days of training, with specialized programs included for shoulders, arms, chest, back, legs, abs, and glutes, each one with male and female options. You get them all and can use them as often as you like, even building off of them to make your own customized versions for only about $1 a day. Click on the link in the description of this video to get started. Oh, what's wrong with me? Why do I hate the TikTok transition noises so much? Is it an autism thing? Is it like noise pollution for me? Coffee number 1. And in case you missed that, it came with a ding. Lean beef patty's just funny. I love the random cough. Ooh, a satanic number of calories. I love it. 666. 80 grams of carbs, 30 grams of fat, 50 grams of protein. This is a really good meal.
A lot of people don't mess with cottage cheese.
It's awful. I hate cottage cheese. Scott, what do you think about cottage cheese?
I will never put it in my body.
It's garbage. It's like if you digested actual cheese and threw it up, it would be cottage cheese. And I think that's how cottage cheese is made.
Yeah, my girlfriend eats it all the time. I don't even want to be in the room with it.
My wife eats it all the time, and I'm like, I've actually scolded for her and threatened physical violence before. That's how she broke 2 of my fingers.
It's great if you blend it. It's great.
Hey, Scott, you ever try blending your own vomit?
It's time to chow down on our delicious lunch meal, which is peppers.
I don't eat peppers on almost any occasion, especially if they're cut up and mixed with other foods. Yes, that is clinical grade autism. 291 calories, 24 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fat, 30 grams. Dude, Lean Beef Patty is knocking these macros out of the park. She's eating really healthy foods. She's doing the thing. She's for sure so far like best fitness influencer diet. Not bad.
All right, I'm about
Scott, there's a cat on her kitchen counter.
Duh. Do you expect anything different?
Scott Hoon approved?
I mean, absolutely not, but lean beef, you know?
Lean beef?
She's great. She does what she wants.
That's how she lives.
Not in my house.
No. Well, you've drowned a few cats in your house.
to show you guys a crazy hack. 1 scoop. Now water, just a little bit. Ice cream.
Yeah. Okay. I thought she was making whey protein pudding, which sucks. But it works for macros. And now we're getting ice cream. Okay. Interesting.
I try not to demonize foods too hard because this ice cream was like...
Is the cat the next ingredient?
One can only hope.
One can only hope. Blender, cottage cheese, cat. Good way to ruin some cat. Folks, there is still more video to come. But if you're a fan of coming, you can do a whole lot of that in our members section. So you can subscribe to that. Extra duration, XXX rated versions of these videos. A ton of other content, myself training, Jared training, tons of sciencey stuff, and a whole lot of fun. Give that a click, and back to the video.
Freaking $8 or $9, which is really expensive. And not everybody has $8 or $9.
Did that really happen?
Yes.
Geez, that cat really hated being put down, huh? Or did she put it into a blender and was that the cat blender sound?
I think it's fine to enjoy ice cream, even if it's not, like 3 ingredients.
Patty, preach that shit. For a young girl who looks like she was transplanted from the early 80s, t-shirt, hair, glasses, and everything, you're making some really good points.
I've been bulking for this entire year straight, an actual proper bulk with optimized training and nutrition. And I've made the most gains that I've made in years. You've probably heard that the heavy bulking that bodybuilders do is outdated bro science, but a lot of people still do them. Studies show that even a 5 to 10% caloric surplus is enough to give your body the resources that it needs to lay down new muscle tissue.
Scott, when Canada defeats the United States in armed combat, anyone who says resources will be executed on the spot, you will be made to say resources.
I see.
And your skeletal system will be replaced with a skeletal system.
Oh, of course.
I love it. I can't get enough.
Naturally.
So Jeff is saying that even 5 to 10% surplus over the long term can give you all your muscle gains that you need with minimum fat gains. He's completely correct. So I used to do super bulks all the time. All I got from it was the need to do cosmetic surgery because my fat ass got so fat it couldn't get unfatted again. This is wise shit. Jeff, as usual, knows his stuff. I wish massive surpluses were required because then it would be YOLO every day. But it turns out the downside is that you shouldn't be YOLOing all the time. A few days here and there is totally fine. The upside is if you are having trouble bulking, you've been bulky for a while, you're already quite big, you don't have a very big hunger response, you don't have to stuff yourself like crazy. So if you normally like maintain at 3,000 calories, just eating 3,300 calories per day, but for months on end is going to get you as jacked as anything else, which is really good news because I used to push into the 4,000, 4,500 calories and you'd get there faster, but the there is just you being fatter and less healthy.
I maintain my weight at around 2,800 calories per day. If I eat 2,800 calories, I don't gain weight and I don't lose weight. So when I bulk, I simply increase my calories by 5 to 10% up to around 3,000 calories per day. Then I'll adjust those calories up or down, depending on if I'm gaining too fast or too slow.
Smart. Jeffrey's the man.
At 1 p.m., I have my pre-workout meal, which is 100 grams of lean ground turkey, jasmine rice, Greek yogurt, shredded cheese, sriracha.
Do you say sriracha or do you say sriracha?
Sriracha.
Yeah.
A kiwi, and 100 grams of blackberries.
This is so far a goated diet. This is like the cleanest off-season diet ever.
After this meal, I have a pre-workout supplement, and then I train about an hour later. After training, I have a protein shake and a banana. And then in the evening, my diet becomes a lot more flexible. Some nights I'll order a pita or a burrito.
Order a pita. Did he mispronounce pizza or is he actually ordering Middle Eastern food? It would be so refined of Jeffrey to order a pita, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Sometimes I get sushi or Thai food, but it's often chicken, potato, sour cream, and broccoli with a side of roasted sunflower seeds for healthy fats.
Are we inclined to believe that he individually grabs one seed at a time?
Listen, they needed more B-roll. You had to switch that out.
Eat that slow.
Then before bed, it's Greek yogurt, honey, and peanut butter with a side of popcorn.
Popcorn. Man, this is a really awesome diet. It hits every single thing you would expect a perfectionist like Jeff to hit. This is goals. And I can't critique this in any way whatsoever. This is awesome.
If I have any calories left over, I'll usually have something sweet, like some candy or chocolate. Again, when you track your macros, you can be a lot more flexible with the foods you eat.
Yeah, Jeff, you're real flexible eating almost exactly like a contest bodybuilder, plus or minus a few macros. I kid. But like, Scott, how many times have you had like 5 Swedish fish and called it a day? Never. I need 3 bags. I also can't stand sugary candy, but if it's chocolate, I need cases.
And you can even eat some junk food as long as it fits in your daily totals.
Yeah, if most of your food is really healthy like Jeff's was, a little bit of junk food, totally awesome. That was really wholesome, Scott.
Classic Jeff.
Very classic.
Today I'm going to be getting into my
Oh, look, a gentleman I met in prison, Chris Heria. Excellent.
personal diet, what I eat, and why I'm eating it. But before we get into what I'm doing,
Scott, look at him.
You like that?
Yes, he's so beautiful. Abs that tell me he's hard. The tattoos that tell me he's really hard. And the gorgeous face and perfect hair that tells me maybe he's soft. In a way that only 2 men touching would know about. What? Yes.
so my goals are to stay lean and strong so I can build muscle and strength simultaneously while improving athleticism. And by increasing my weight and muscle mass more gradually, I'm allowing my ligaments and tendons more time to grow stronger to support the added weight and muscle.
This is a very big deal for calisthenics athletes and gymnasts and folks like that, is if they throw off their body weight by even a few pounds in a week, their movements are going to feel really shitty. And if you're doing all this really crazy body weight stuff, just a few extra pounds per week of a bloat that you maintain for a week and train through can put a lot of undue stress on your joints and really set you back a little bit. So folks like this usually benefit from eating in a way that doesn't skyrocket their body weight, but maybe gains them like a quarter or a third of a pound per week for a few weeks. Their body gets used to it. Everything goes well. Then they might diet some of that off, and in really smooth sloping patterns end up getting more muscular over time. If you're a bodybuilder, powerlifter, you can gain a little bit faster because you don't have to have these crazy body weight reference performances all the time.
Now, whether I'm trying to build muscle or burn fat, my protein intake never really changes. It's always going to stay around 170 grams.
I bet you it weighs around 170 pounds. Smart stuff.
And for carbs, depending on my activity, it can range anywhere from 70 to 170 grams per day.
That's pretty low, huh, Scott?
his calorie total comes up. It's pretty surprising.
Interesting.
Now for fat, I stick to healthy fats and I have about 40 to 70 grams
Whoa.
per day. Now in total for the entire day, eating just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's gonna be 2,001 calories, 75.9 grams of fat, 161.9 grams of carbs, and 176.3 grams of protein.
It's really good for like kind of more of a contest prep vibe from him. Interesting. Maybe he has a very slow metabolism or something like that, but typically that's not enough calories for people of 170 pound weight to gain on. If you're 170, you're gaining on something like 2,500 to 3,000 calories in most cases. So yeah, he said it first himself. Don't copy his diet, just take away the principles, which are super awesome. All right. Sam Sulek gets a vibes out of 10. I just want to be like Sam in every way. If I could be inside of Sam, that would be even better. In that way, and even just in his skin. The Tren Twins, they're just living their best lives. Perfectly aware of it. Lean beef patty, isn't she great? Great diet, great thoughtfulness. Very similar to Mr. Jeff Nippard in the balanced, super healthy, but occasional snack type of stuff. Did I miss someone? Jeff Nippard. 10 out of 10. Jeffrey never misses. And then Mr. Chris Heria, very healthy, very well balanced, very thought out diet. I love the snack option. The asterisk there, and he said it himself, was don't copy the diet. If you weigh 170 pounds and you want to get jacked, try to eat Chris Heria's diet. When you almost inevitably end up losing weight, start to bump up your calories so that you're gaining again. All great stuff. Wacky to very conventional. Not so spot on with the science, all the way to Jeff Nippard. There's something to learn from everyone. And if you guys want another full day of eating from me, fuck all of you. We're never doing that content again because it's terrible. But if you really insist, we'll do it again and I'll just be miserable. So if you want a full day of eating from me again, tell us in the comments below. And otherwise, we will see you next time. All right, that was fun. It's got me so pumped to hashtag diet with my hashtag friends that hashtag influence. More hashtags? Check out this video right here. Might be what you're looking for.